right, so our next presenter is Regan Birr. Today she is presenting Regan Moves, Fitness for People with Chronic Conditions. Regan is a systemic lupus patient and arthritis patient. She is also a mechanical engineer. Regan has designed an exercise program specifically for people with chronic conditions, including pain and fatigue. She is also the founder and executive director of the Lupus Research Foundation in Minnesota. She requests that as you guys are able, please follow along with her today. Thank you, Regan.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, this is great. Okay, can you guys hear me and see me? Okay, let's get going. Thank you. Thank you. So my name's Regan. I just want to say a really big thank you to MUSC and Duke University for this wonderful opportunity to speak with you guys today. And I just want to provide some tools for your tool belt so you can help forge your own path. But yes, I was on cyclophosphamide for 2.5 years for kidney involvement, and I'm still on medication, but in remission. So things are going well, and diet and exercise really helped me start moving. But how do you exercise when you're in pain and you have a lot of fatigue? And that's what we're going to start with today. So let's get started. So my trick is I discovered a way to move that makes me feel a little bit better, which is low torque exercise. So low torque exercise is, if you can do a demonstration here with me, if you've got a glass of water in your hands and your arm is fully extended, you can feel like a force on your shoulder joint. That's called torque. It wants to bend your arm down. Okay? So if you want to reduce that feeling of pressure, just reduce your lever. So you can still do the exercises with a lower range of motion. Okay? That's a simple way to reduce torque, which is force on your joints. Our goal is to strengthen the muscles around the joints with these safe exercises and prevent injury, because slow and steady wins the race. So if you want to look at torque on your knees, if you actually lean forward like this and get your weight over your knees, if you get your weight over your knees, you'll actually reduce the pressure on your knees. So instead of doing a torque or a squat like they show you at the gym, where you actually have your weight on your heels like this, just shift your weight a little bit and you'll feel the whole change in your legs. You got to protect your back while you do this, but you'll reduce that pressure on your knees and you'll be able to do functional things like get stuff out of the garbage, do squats if you can, but I'll show you ways to strengthen your muscles from a chair too. Okay, let's get started, you guys. So I usually start with a simple warm-up of just walking on the spot. Usually we have music, but I want to be able to talk with you today. And for me, moderate exercise or low intensity is the way to go. Did you know that studies actually show that long-term exercise in a moderate capacity can help you reduce inflammation? So like the lady talked to us about our anti-inflammatory diet, which also pairs nicely with this exercise program, you can actually improve your health. I recommend running this by your doctor, of course, before you start the program, but I hope you can follow along with me today and see how you feel. You can do walking on the spot from your chair. Tap, and if that even bothers you, just transfer your weight, hang out with us today. Every little step counts, and pat yourself on the back for every step, including baby steps, because baby steps matter and they can turn into big results. Okay, walking on the spot. If you have cardiac issues, we don't want to raise our arms above our shoulders, but if you want to increase your intensity, just move your arms a little bit too. Add some arms, get your muscles moving, get the blood flowing, and remember, motion is lotion. We're going to get the synovial fluid going in the synovial joints. Okay, you can even start by doing some big arm circles. And again, all of this can be done from a chair. And oftentimes I do teach it all from a chair. So the goal is to be healthy with lupus. Health is possible even with lupus. And again, I just want to focus on getting the movement done. Done is better than perfect. And we're just doing a warm up here to get everything warm in our body so that we can continue with strength exercises mixed with cardio segments. Okay? So, example of biceps. You don't have to use weights at all. If you want to, I started out with tuna cans, which are 1/3 of a pound. Then I graduated up to 1-pound cans. These are artichokes. Or now I have my 2-pound weights, which you can use or not use. You can do these from a chair, you can add a squat, or you can just follow along with biceps, okay? Sometimes we change the tempo. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, nice and slow. Doing the tempo nice and slow like this, and changing the tempo of concentric versus eccentric movement, which is just time under tension, can really challenge your muscles, and you can get more bang for your buck for the time you spend exercising. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to change the tempo here. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, quick down. 3, 2, 1, quick down. 3, 2, 1, reverse, quick up. 3, 2, 1, quick up. 3, 2, 1, and up. 3, 2, and 2. 1, 2. Feel the difference there? Challenges your muscles, challenges your mind, and gets you doing the exercises in a fun way. Okay, that's an example of how we can work our muscles by being smarter and not working harder. In between each segment, I like to move around a little bit, do a light stretch if you want to, stretch those bicep muscles. And take it easy. Like again, I like to say, slow and steady wins the race. Okay? So we're going to go back to a nice little cardio exercise where we're going to do heel taps and then toe taps. Alternate heel taps with toe taps, even from a chair. So let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay? And now go to the toes. 8, 7, 6. If this is hard on your ankles, it's okay to just tap your feet. Modify how it works for you. The goal is to get moving, to do something. You know, when I was first sick, and even transferring your weight counts. You're working your muscles. But I had trouble walking up the stairs without a cane. My pain level was 10 out of 10, like where you cry from the pain at night, or it wakes you up, or you can't fall asleep. And I couldn't walk from here to my microwave, which is like 15 feet away, without stopping for a break and needing a glass of water. I also have Sjogren's, so many of you out there I know have these sister diseases as well, but I was always thirsty, and I think part of it was because I was so fatigued. So it took time. When I first started working out, I did Pilates from the floor. We're going to show you some abdominal exercises later. And I walked on a treadmill at the community center with the senior citizens, nice and slow, but you know, it really built up over time. So whatever you can do counts. Do what you can when you can. Slow and steady wins the race. We're going to do low torque, low impact exercise. You don't even need to wear your shoes. Okay. So let's move on to another exercise for strength. Really want to work these muscles. We're going to do some squats. And if you can't do squats, if your knees are too sore, we've got some alternatives, okay? So again, get your weight, your center of gravity, over your knees as best you can, and do a couple squats with me. If you need to, sit down and just get your weight over your knees and do a little bit of a press. That counts. That's a lot of work on your muscles. I can feel it. And if that hurts too much, simply squeeze your leg muscles and that will do the work for you, okay? Don't want to do too many of these. They can build blood pressure, but a few is okay, but run it by your doctor. The other thing you can do is leg extensions. I know I had to see a knee surgeon when I was in my 20s because my knees were so bad. I had osteoarthritis. And he said these are very effective at building muscle. And a trick I have is do them in the bathtub. It feels like that little bit of buoyancy factor can really help you do these exercises. So pulse and hold, pulse and hold. That's a lot of work. I can feel it. Take a rest. Massage your muscles. Make yourself feel better. Take your time, but you can also do extensions. You can do them at a lower range of motion, low to the ground. If you do this with me, you'll feel it. It works. It works and it counts, and it's kind of fun. All right. So these are so good for the legs, and it's so important to build those muscles around the joints to support the joints. And in a way, that's safe. Okay, remember you guys, we'd rather underdo than overdo, so I'm going to take it easy and go back to another cardio exercise. So I don't do jumping jacks, no impact, walk on the spot or transfer your weight, that's cool. We're going to do modified jumping jacks. So I'm just transferring my weight and getting my arms moving. You can also do a very low range of motion. As long as you're doing a compound exercise here, that works really nicely.
What is it?
It's an app that prices your sports cards.
Okay, so stay with me here. We're going to walk on a spot, moving our arms. These are my modified jacks, or I call them my soft jacks, modified jumping jacks. Okay, you guys, shake it out. Stretch if you need to. Stretch those shoulders. Walk on the spot. Something that's really fun to do is I'm going to implement what I'm talking about with those shoulder raises. Low torque work on your shoulders. I'm going to use my tuna cans. This is how I started. It works really well. Okay, so you're going to end up doing shoulder raises with a bent arm. Rotate that shoulder, rotate that arm about the axis. So you're rotating your arm around your shoulder joint. If you do these with me, with or without weight, pretty soon you're going to start feeling this in your muscle, right in the shoulder, which is great. I'll challenge you a bit here. Pulse and hold. Pulse and hold. Can you feel that? Pulse and hold. Pulse and hold. Pulse and hold. Okay, you guys get the idea. You can work the outside of your shoulders, like the lateral part of your shoulder, in the same way. Instead of keeping your arms straight, bend your lever. It'll reduce the amount of work and pressure, well, torque on your shoulders. So you get the idea here. I worked with a lady with lupus who had a frozen shoulder. This was about the range of motion she could do. Well, guess what? That works. I mean, I can see in a mirror I have to my side the amount of motion I'm doing, and it counts. Pretty soon you're going to start building muscle and feeling better. Motion is lotion. This is nice and anti-inflammatory. So keep up the good work, you guys. I'm going to switch back to a cardio segment. Strength, cardio, strength, cardio, strength, cardio the whole time. Can you do a little football run with me here? Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Okay. You can even change your leading leg. Say you're leading with the left, wide, narrow. Just tap with your right foot and change it. Wide, narrow. It's kind of fun, especially when you've got some good rock and roll music going. Okay. I want you guys to be able to talk easily. Seriously, even maybe hold a note. Like when you're singing, hold it. We don't want to overdo. All that you do counts, so take it easy. Okay, wide, narrow. You can do this from a chair. Wide, narrow. Add the arms if you like to. Okay. I mean, I'm feeling this. I don't sweat a lot during this workout because I keep it, nice and steady. But over time, it really has started to help me. I find that when I wake up in the morning, this is the next thing I do after I brush my teeth and have some water. It becomes schedule. So it's not willpower, it's just schedule. Hang out with me, hang out with a friend, have accountability, text somebody. Even if what you do is watch some TV and do some movement with me at the same time. Another thing we do that is very exemplary of that, calf raises from a chair. These are things you can do while you're resting. It changed in my mind how I felt about myself. It started making me feel more capable and accomplished once I started doing some of these movements. It was really fun. It was hard at first, had to figure out how to move so I basically wouldn't cry and get it done and then stick with it. And thanks to my sister who encouraged me to exercise, here we are all these years later. My weight's under control. I had osteoporosis from being on high-dose prednisone when I was first diagnosed. Then I did Fosamax, so Western medicine has really helped, but then doing the strengthening exercises, I believe has really helped with my bone density. This workout program is endorsed by my rheumatologists and other sports professionals. And so again, if you get permission to try this, please do. Please have faith in yourself and do a little bit of motion. It can really change your mindset. And as we know, some days are diamonds and some days are stones. So it's important to give yourself some grace and do what you can when you can. And if you need a break, that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you some exercises for the largest muscle in the body that often is the least worked. We need to work our glutes. Again, supports the hips. Super fun, super important. So similar to our modified squat, you can work out your glutes by squatting and then squeezing when you're at the top, okay? To modify this from the chair, you simply do isometrics. Squeeze. So squeeze, you'll feel your whole body lift. You're going to squeeze those glutes and hold. Again, not too many of them. You're going to feel this tomorrow. Just relax after you squeeze. Always breathe. Like our specialist said, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. So squeeze. Not easy, these isometric exercises, are they? So again, we don't have to work hard, just work steady. Easy is effective. These exercises can really, really make a difference. Okay, hamstrings, which is the back of the leg, modified from a chair. Anytime you pull your leg back behind you, you're actually working that muscle that has to pull it back. So these are nice modifications for your hammies, hamstrings. Okay. You can also stand, if you're able, work those hamstrings by bringing your foot back. Can you lift your foot? Can you actually do hamstring extensions like this on your hips? Okay. You can pulse and hold. Pulse. These are hard and hold. Pulse and hold. Take a break. Walk it out. Move that material in your muscles. Feels good. Do the other side. Take it back. Maybe even pulse and hold. Pulse and hold. I mean, before you know it, you're doing a full body workout. We've done our major muscle groups. We've done our biceps. Time to do some triceps. Mix a little cardio in between. Go back to some of those steps. Maybe you want to do the skater where you get the outside of the leg. Okay. So back to cardio. But let's do our triceps. I like doing triceps. It's really fun. Okay. Again, low range of motion if you've got shoulder issues or joint pain, and you can do these from a chair. Secure back. You can squat a little. Have a nice stance, ready to go. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Hard to do when you're actually working your triceps, but think about it and you can do it, okay? These are called the swimmer. You're just pulsing behind you. The closer you have your hands to each other behind you, the harder you're working your triceps. So instead of this, you have this. Instead of this, this. So the tiniest tweaks in how you hold yourself make a difference. You can do extensions here for your triceps. If you want a lighter workout, just don't do as big a range of motion, okay? You can even stand or sit, little range of motion. I can feel my triceps working. One thing about having lupus, you feel everything, right? In your muscles and your joints. If you want more of a workout, add some weights, okay? So pulse and hold, pulse and hold, pulse and hold, pulse and hold. Okay, shake it out, stretch. Now we've done most muscle groups and I know we're limited on time, so I really want to show you my abdominal exercises. You can do these from the office, you can do them from home. Let's do a few simple exercises. I'm leaning back just to the point where I can feel some work. Okay, I'm squeezing my belly button to my spine, but always breathing. So breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sit-ups. No need to get down on the floor. Sometimes it's hard to get up from the floor. Sometimes it's not convenient. If you're in an office or someplace you just like to do some work. If you even just squeeze back to isometrics, you're doing some work. But anyway, abs from a chair are pretty easy. Okay, you can play with the tempo on this and the timing. Holding it is more challenging. You can add a challenge. Extend a leg, not easy. Extend your arms, not easy. Extend both legs, woo! Cross, kicks, you get the idea, okay? Even leaning back a titch and lifting your legs is really good for your abdominals and your leg muscles, so a good compound exercise. Okay. I love doing little circles, big circles. If you have spine problems, be careful here, okay? Low range of motion. Little circles, it works your whole trunk. Go one way, then the other. Makes sense. Big circles, one way, then the other. And if you want to work your sides, keep your frame of your body square, okay? Don't twist, don't bend. Oh, there's my timer, guys. I want to respect your time. So, just to continue with this, hold. Keep everything square. Don't twist, don't bend. Hold. You're going to feel this side really working and this side soft. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Aren't those fun? Okay. And then how we usually finish off with my exercise program is balance. You can do this from a chair even. Balance is so important. And stretching your toes, which ties to balance, because everybody should do an overall body stretch after this program too. But close your eyes with me while you're sitting in a chair if that's safe for you. Raise your arms to your side, just gentle if your shoulders are sore. Turn to the left, breathe. Turn to the right, breathe. Again, turn to the left, breathe. Turn to the right, breathe. Eyes forward, open. Arms up. Close your eyes. Turn to the left, breathe. Think of what you're grateful for. Turn to the right, breathe. I'm grateful for friends, family, and all of you. Let's take a big breath in. Thankful for this day. And one more in. Okay, that's the gist of the program, everybody. I'm gonna come here close to you and I hope you had fun today and I wanna take some questions. Let's see, I see there's some in the chat here. Well, my contact information is in the chat. Wonderful, thanks you guys. Yes, and Stephanie, can you add my website, reganmoves.com, if people wanna reach out and try this with me later. So one question I've got on my text actually is, again, we touched on this earlier. What do you do if you're just not feeling well? Well, I say rest. Again, the advice I've gotten from my rheumatologist is do what you can when you can. It's totally okay to rest. It's important to focus on our mental health and our mindset, which is have grace with yourself, be kind to yourself, you know. It's okay and you can do it is basically what I like to say. Oh, I see a question here too. Okay, from Deb. Deb's raised her hand, but I don't know how to get the question, Deb. Oh, can you put it in the chat? I don't see you. Or can one of the facilitators help take Deb's question? Let's see. Oh, I see a chat. Let's see here. Please use the chat for questions. So Deb, send me your question in the chat if you can.
Yeah. Save up for at least 6 months. 3 minutes.
Okay, what are people asking for the chat at? And Deb, I think you should be able to unmute yourself also if you're having a hard time with the chat.
Deb, I think I might have been able to hear you there, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, for now I have another question of, do I have other cardio exercises? Yes, many of them. Again, you can do them from a chair, but one of them is simple punches. So step, step, punch, step, step, punch, step, step, punch. Anytime you can work your legs and your arms at the same time, even in a low range of motion and low intensity, counts and is good for the cardiovascular system. So run it by your doctor. And again, my program is okayed and endorsed, and see if you can, add movement to your day. Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Paula. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks for having me today, you guys. I had a blast, and I hope you feel better and have wonderful days ahead. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out. Thanks.